Welcome, and today we will be putting the two legends of their time inside the arena and see who would win. These legends are Michael Jai White and Bruce Lee. They are the great fighters of their time, and no blockbuster was complete without them. So, without wasting any more time, let's get started. Michael Jai White. First, let's start with the great Michael Jai White. Michael is a great actor, director, and prodigious martial artist. His early life. Born on November 10, 1964 in Brooklyn, New York, Michael Jai White couldn't stay under the bright light of his father. He died when he was just a small kid. To keep the finances stable, they had to move to Bridgeport, Connecticut. Thanks to the Bridgeport environment at that time, he fell in love with martial arts. At just the age of 8, he joined a local martial arts academy. No one would dare to stand against this karate kid inside and outside the school. White was cherished in the street fights and the academy's tournaments. He was also a great dancer. He soon earned enough to go to college. His martial arts skills. Now you know how his life started hitting Jai White. Now, let's talk about how he hit back at his opponents. To this day, he holds 8 black belts in different martial arts. His first black belt was when he reached the age of 12. His first black belt was in karate, and that is the style you would see in most of his movies. Michael then set out to win black belts in other martial arts like Shotokan, Kobudo, Goju Ryu, Tang Soo Do, Taekwondo, and some other karate styles. There were also some other styles that he would train just to keep himself stretched out. He spent years training wushu, kung fu. Michael is such a great martial artist with unlimited fighting techniques and martial arts skills. Through his fighting skills, he has earned so many trophies and awards. He holds more than 20 years of experience in martial arts. I think that's enough about his skills. Now, let's talk about the most interesting part, his acting career. Michael Jai White was bit by the acting spider when he was in college, so he chased out that dream too. After some tries, he successfully passed an interview. That interview helped him get roles in advertisements and some theater plays. His first official movie was on the HBO platform. In that movie, he performed the role of the living legend Mike Tyson in 1995. That really helped him showcase his skills. Soon, he started a superhero movie, Spawn. Michael was the first black superhero that appeared in the movies. That movie also earned him the Blockbuster Entertainment Award. After that, he faced the living legend Jean-Claude Van Damme in an action movie, Universal Soldier: The Return, in 1999. In 2001, he also met another great superstar, Steven Seagal. All these collaborations made White a reputable Hollywood star. His versatility isn't just limited to martial arts. He's a great actor too. He can just fit right into any role, whether it's a comedy movie or an action blockbuster. Now, let's talk about another legend, Bruce Lee. Bruce is an American Hong Kong martial artist, instructor, illustrious actor, and philosopher. He is also known for his own martial arts, Jeet Kune. Early life. Bruce Lee was born on November 27, 1940 in Chinatown, San Francisco. His parents moved out to Hong Kong when he was 3 months old. When he got admitted to a local school there, he got involved in several street fights. His father enrolled him in one of the best martial arts academies in Hong Kong just so he would learn how to fight. His martial arts skills. When Bruce was a small kid, his father taught him the basics. But when he got into the academy, he was trained by the deadly and reputable Yip Man. He made him the master of Wing Chun. They would randomly do drills, wooden dummy techniques, and free sparring. Bruce Lee was a man of many sports such as Wing Chun, boxing, Taekwondo, wrestling, EP fencing, Tai Chi, Judo, and street fighting. I know, mind-blowing, right? In boxing, he was trained by his college coach, Brother Edward. From his teens, he was involved in unlimited street fights and tournaments. In 1958, he went against a previous champion, Gary Elms, in a Hong Kong school tournaments. He crushed Gary Elms in the final. In 1960, Lee was heavily inspired by the legendary Muhammad Ali. He adapted his footwork into his own. Another great influence was the Hong Kong rooftop fights. When Bruce Lee moved to the US in the 60s, he wanted to build a strong and beastly body, but he didn't overdo it as it would slow down his muscle movement. He gave up on baked goods, worked on his flexibility, agility, muscular strength, endurance, cardiovascular endurance, and gained some muscle mass. One of his most famous works is the creation of Jeet Kune, his own martial arts style. His acting career. If you want to see his fighting skills, then a great way to do is through his movies. His directors will personally tell him to slow down his movement just so the cameras could catch it. Bruce Lee was fast as lightning. He got the inspiration of being an actor from his father. He brought him into the world of acting in his childhood. When Lee turned 18, he is already starring in more than 20 movies. So there's no doubt he is an eminent actor. Some of his great movies are Enter the Dragon, The Orphan, Way of the Dragon, The Big Boss, Fist of Fury, The Kid, and the list keeps going on. In his latest movies before his death, you can see that his martial arts skills are not Kung Fu, Wing Chun, or any other martial art, but his hybrid Jeet Kune. When it comes to the term the greatest fighter of all time, Bruce Lee tops that list. We would never see a great fighter like him again. The duel. Finally, it's time to put them in an arena one-on-one and see who would win between the two of them. Will it be Bruce Lee, a born dragon, or will it be the monster Michael Jai White? Let's find out. But just to let you know, we'll be comparing each fighter with their attributes and score them 10 in each pedigree. The fighting pedigree. This pedigree is always hard to do. First, let's start with Michael Jai White. He holds black belts in 8 martial arts styles. He's been a great fighter since his childhood. Throughout his whole career, White never gave up on martial arts. Now it's time to talk about Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee's fighting style is undefinable. In his teens, he was a famous face of Hong Kong street fights, while in his adulthood, no one dared to stand against him. On the other side, Bruce is the founder of Jeet Kune, a hybrid martial art. So, Michael scores 8, while Bruce Lee scores 9 points. Physique. Now let's compare their figure. In his prime, Jai White was 6 feet 1 inch tall and weighed around 235 pounds, while, on the other hand, Bruce Lee weighed around 141 pounds and was 5 feet 7.5 inches tall. Since Michael is heightened and way more than Bruce Lee, it would definitely give him the upper hand. So, 8 points for Michael and 7 points for Bruce Lee. Skills. We don't need to have a second thought on both of their skills. They've been fighting since their childhood and have competed in many tournaments. So, they know how to fight. So, I would award Michael with 8.5 and Bruce with 9 points. Improvisation. Both of the fighters will stand up against each other inside the arena. They will give each other a very hard fight, and it'll be a match worth watching. So, I'll tie them both with 8 points. Verdict. Finally, it's time for the final decision. If we sum up their points, Michael holds around 32.5 points and Bruce holds 33. If we're to take the decision according to their points, Bruce would definitely win, but We won't know what would happen if they would have faced each other for real. So, if you disagree with us, that's totally fine. I'm sorry to say that you've reached the end of the video. But since now that you know both of them, who do you think would win? Don't forget to mention it in the comments section. If you enjoyed our video, then press the like button and subscribe to our channel for more sporty videos. See you in the next one.